Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're breaking down what could be one of the most watched and possibly historic Federal Reserve meetings of the year. Tomorrow's FOMC decision is coming up fast, and traders, investors, and even politicians are all waiting to see what happens next with interest rates. So, let's get right to it. Will the Fed raise rates, cut them, or hold steady tomorrow? Short answer, they're expected to hold steady. The federal funds rate is widely projected to stay right where it is, between 4.25% and 4.5%. The markets have basically priced in a 95 to 100% chance of no change. No surprises expected, at least not in the headline. But here's where it gets interesting. This meeting might not be as unanimous as most. Two Fed governors, Bowman and Christopher Waller, may actually vote in favor of a rate cut. If that happens, it would be the first double dissent by Fed governors since 1993. It's symbolic more than anything, but it shows there's growing internal pressure to start easing. The Fed's holding back on cuts because inflation is still sticky. Core PCE, their preferred inflation gauge, is still sitting somewhere around 2.6% to 3.1%, well above their 2% target. And even though job growth is slowing a bit, the labor market isn't signaling a full-on downturn yet. Unemployment is hovering around 4.2% to 4.5%, which gives the Fed some room to stay patient. So when will we see a rate cut? Most analysts are betting on September as the first move. There's a roughly 60% chance priced in for a quarter-point cut, and many forecasts are predicting 2 cuts by the end of 2025, totaling around 50 basis points. Alright, so how does all this affect the markets? Here's the breakdown. Stocks. Equities might pop if Powell hints that cuts are coming soon, especially tech and high-growth names. But keep in mind, the market's already pricing in some optimism. Bonds. Expect yields to stay steady or even dip slightly if the Fed's tone turns dovish. Dollar. The US dollar might remain strong short-term, but longer-term rate cuts would put pressure on it. Gold and commodities. Gold could catch a bid if rate cuts become more likely, especially if inflation fears cool off. Here's what to pay close attention to during and after the announcement. The FOMC statement at 2 p.m. Eastern. Jerome Powell's press conference at 2:30 p.m. Watch his tone closely. Any changes to the Fed's economic projections, especially for inflation and GDP. How the market reacts to any dissenting votes. So there you have it. Tomorrow's Fed meeting is shaping up to be more than just a rate hold. Could be the turning point that signals when the cutting cycle begins. Make sure you're subscribed. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, drop a comment on where you think rates go next, and I'll catch you in the next one.